Timmy waited for Alex to come back with the news, but to his dismay, Alex had a look of dread in his eye. Alex informed Timmy that they were to the station near the tunnels until the tunnel diggers came back. The far end of the trench was some of the scariest places to be, especially since the Spanish flu was rampant, and all the dead bodies were in piles at the ends of the trench. Any surprise attacks could happen near the edge too. Timmy looked at the tunnel. A few tunnels were tunneling trying to find a way behind the enemy trench, but most of them had died because of the flu. The medic tent near the base was out of capacity, but a lot of doctors and nurses were sent in cycles to the trench to treat everyone. And for the rest who don't make it, they were either dug behind the trench or just thrown out from the edge, where Timmy had dreaded to stay any longer. It was already night time when Alex came back with the news from the Major. They were having their ration when they heard noises of rocks being tossed from across the ditch. This caught the attention of both the boys. They both looked out of the trench with their guns pointed out. Timmy saw a faint glowing orb in the distance. He thought it was a torch, but the light was getting closer and closer. Unlike the yellow glow of a bulb or fire, it was white. Hey, Alex, what do you think that light is? Seems to be approaching rather slowly. Is it the enemy? Timmy asked his mate. What light, Tim? The question took Timmy aback a bit. He looked at Alex and then at the light, only to find that it had disappeared. Just then, they heard noises coming from the tunnels. A man erupted from the tunnel, coughing his lungs out. It was one of the men who went to the tunnel. Alex told Timmy that he would watch over and take the tunneler to the doctor. Timmy took the tunneler and rushed towards the makeshift medic area, where a doctor and 2 nurses administrated him. There, the doctor explained to him that the tunneler may have contracted the flu, and Timmy should wash himself so he doesn't get it too. The nurses gave him some towels and a small soap bar to wash his hands and face. There wasn't enough water in the trench to do a good bath. In fact, even if there wasn't a place to throw the bath water anyway. He took a cup of water and went out to clean his hands and face. And that was when he noticed a small child playing ball across the trench. The kid was playing with a much younger kid, and neither of them looked like they were past 8. He looked around and saw no one was there with him in the area of the trench. He called out to the kids, but kept his voice down, calling them to stay away from there. He noticed that no one from the German side was bothered, even though Timmy was sure the other side could see those kids. He took a small pebble and threw it at them. The kids looked up at him and stared at him deeply with no emotion. He felt a chill run down his spine. He tried to speak French, even though he barely knew the language. But the kids just kept staring at him, like before. It was like they were frozen in time. Suddenly, the kids started vomiting. Timmy looked around, and there was no one. He took the risk and got out of the trench and crawled his way towards the kids. He didn't know why he was risking his life like that, but something inside made him want to rescue the kids. But as he reached the place, he noticed the kids were gone. He looked around and saw the kids were now on a hill in the far distance. Timmy felt his whole body unwrapped in a blanket of chill. He felt like a gust of cold winds were passing inside him. There was no time to think, as someone from the other side had caught wind of Timmy and started firing warning shots. Fearing for his life, he crawled as hard as he could back to the trench. Thankfully, he wasn't shot. Struggling to find his footing, Timmy yelled out to Alex, who was missing. He called out for him and searched all over his post, but Alex was still missing. He peered out from the edge, saw the kids still on top of the hill. This time, many children were there, walking towards the hill and disappearing when they reached there. He called for Alex and then ran towards the medical place, but quickly noticed all the patients, doctors, and even the nurses had vacated the area. Fearing something might have happened, or they got a new order, he left his post on the edge and ran to the major tent. There, he was stopped by some of his seniors, who asked him what happened. Seeing the fear-stricken face of Timmy, they feared the worst. He explained about the vacated medical place, Alex, his brother in the arm, and the children. The two seniors looked at each other with dread in their eyes and explained to Timmy, "They're dead, mate." Timmy looked at them in disbelief, and they continued. "They've been dead for over a month. The flu took them all. We had a medic tent over there, but the flu was so bad. Even some of the French kids we took in died of the flu. And the doctors and nurses. Later, we abandoned that place until we decided to see if we could tunnel there. You and your mate were posted on guard duty. But the tunnels collapsed in on themselves and killed all the tunnelers. Ever since then, we left that post. You were still left on guard duty. And soon your mate also died from the flu. And you buried him inside the trench." Timmy walked away from the senior soldiers and went back to his post. And all he could think of was Alex's smiling face and the children's innocent eyes.
Subscribe today or beware.